if a man had a second wife or a third wife, should he have to cover the bills at their house if they all live separately?
If they all live separately,
Yeah.
first off,
If that's
okay, so you mean they all live separately and then he comes through?
yeah, and they're
Well,
his wives. So should he have to pay the other two wives rent and for each of their houses and the light bill and if he's gonna call like he does for the wife that he lives with?
he should assist. He going in there knocking them down, right? I mean, let's be real.
There's a young lady that her boyfriend, who's a live-in boyfriend, and they have a daughter together. And he said for Christmas he would like for her to okay adding an extra person in the bedroom with them as a Christmas present to him. What do you think about that, Melissa?
So he's requesting his fantasy to come for sight,
for Christmas?
right? For Christmas.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
so
real life breathing gift. The gift that
right,
keeps on giving.
I got it. I got it. So this is 2022.
Yeah.
And people are choosing to live not like they did in the 1950s. So I'm a true believer, like each to their own. I see the pros and cons in that. I believe like a woman should be acceptable to pleasing her man. I don't totally agree with sharing my man, but some do. So once again, each to their own.
Why don't you agree with sharing your man?
Why don't I agree with it?
Yeah, why?
It's just some things you're not supposed to share, and that's one of them. But people do it on a daily basis. I, for once, I cannot. I'm sorry. That down there is mine. Okay, if it's gonna stay mine, you can't share it.
Did you say
I don't
that
want to
down
share
there?
you. I want you to share yourself. I mean, we grown, okay? So you know what I meant.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Once I have found, because I have several friends who partake in threesomes quite frequently, okay? So I have found that once the woman pleases the man in that aspect, he wants it more often than she willing to participate in it. So I have found with my friends whom have chosen to do the threesomes um frequently, that they have found themselves in a situation that when they tell their man no, they don't want to share him with another woman tonight, then it leads to arguments. So I just feel like if it's going to be done, then the boundaries need to be set in regards to the frequency of it. Because as a man, y'all know y'all like your cake, icing, ice cream, sprinkles, and all of that. So I just feel like if the woman chooses to begin to open the door for that within her relationship, the boundaries have to be set from the very beginning.
Okay. Okay. Do you actually agree with that? Then we'll ever know, because a lot of people keep that a secret. And then some
Yeah,
women to their friends, I would never do that, but they really got another person or extra two people involved. What you think?
of course, because I have several friends that when they told me they did, I was like, "What? You get down like that?" They was like, "I have several times." I was like, "Oh, never would have thought." But okay, girl, get it, do you? That's what I said. And, we kept the conversation going.
Yeah.
I mean, it just has become a part of life. I mean, it just has. Times have changed. Like I said, we're not in 1950s anymore. People are more exploratory sexually. I also feel like, the media and the advertisement of sexualization has increased the openness of people willing to not live, quote unquote, the norm as which, we grew up. Many households are not just mom and dad and the children anymore, because you have to, consider people who are bisexual. You have to consider now people whom are uh same couple marriages, whom are raising children. So the dynamics of the family has just changed over the years, and it continues to evolve. So once again, each to their own.
Yeah. There was another young lady that was asked to be a second wife. And a lot of people nowadays are considering the viability of a polygamous marital relationship. How do you feel that would go, and what would be your expectations if you ever had to find yourself in that situation?
Well, I for once where I'm supposed to be could not ever find myself in that situation. But once again, the communication in regards to it and the boundaries have to be have to be have to be set in regards to that. Some women and men are acceptable, and some aren't. But then I also could see jealousy becoming a part of it. The one wife might want the husband one night over the other one, and vice versa. So I could see arguments occurring, disputes occurring, and everything else.
If a man had a second wife or a third wife, should he have to cover the bills at their house if they all live separately?
If they all live separately,
Yeah.
first off,
if that's
okay, so you mean they all live separately and then he comes through?
Yeah, and they're his wives. So should he have to pay the other two wives rent and for each of their houses and the light bill, and if he's going to call he does for the wife that he lives with?
He should assist. He going in there knocking them down, right? I mean, let's be real. Right. So once again, expectations need to be set in the beginning. We have a lot of independent women, and one of them may not feel like that it's necessary for him to do so. And I'm gonna throw out this old saying my grandma would say. She would always say, why should a man, milk the cow? He gonna get the milk for free. So once
why
again,
should he
we go
buy
back to
the
the
cow?
boundaries.
Why should he buy the cow if he's gonna get the milk?
And he get the milk for free, right?
Yeah. Grandma used to say that.
Yeah, and we really understand what grandma meant now since we done got older. You got to pull your weight no matter what.
My grandma, great grandma, she said as long as it was chocolate milk, she had a little spin on it. But anyway,
as long as it was chocolate milk,
they say black members. She grew up back in the day, where you didn't really do that. So with all that being said, what do you in 2022? What should a man have going for him for you for him to turn you on?
I need him not to still be on his mother's breast since he's in his 40s. Okay, first and foremost, I'm just gonna use that as an example. He needs to have a full-time job, his own vehicle, his own place to live, whether it's apartment or house. And then, he needs to go to work every day. But most importantly for me, I need him to be psychologically and emotionally stable. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's for me right now, because I'm in my 40s. I don't have time to play games. So either you gonna shape up, and act right, or you not. And I'm not about to play with you, and I'm not gonna allow you to play with me. And it's just simple as that. It's no gray matter at this point in time in my life. None.
What could be some of the advantages of dating a younger man?
Stamina.
Okay. And is that the only one?
No, it's not the only one. Vibrant, he's still trying to find himself. So if he's younger, and since I'm older, I might can, assist him in reaching his goals, not all financially, but provide good, sound, solid advice, give him better direction, and things of that nature.
Okay. And what are the advantages of dating an older man?
We'll see. We would prefer for them to be stable. Retirement,
Yeah,
401,
yeah, yeah.
and that K needs to be
Well,
set.
and you can find older men with stamina,
Yes, that's true, but
endurance. Yes.
that's true. But seems like some of these older men still haven't gotten it together. They still haven't figured it out. So, I'm a true believer that just because a man has a penis, that don't make him a man. It just means he's just a species of a man. So, it takes a lot for a man to really be a man, especially now in 2022. They seem to still be on their mother's breasts, and I need them to come off, okay?
Is that does that seem to be widespread? Men still on their mom's breastises, as you say.
I believe so. I just feel like, and I also feel like at this point in time that, women have let their guard down to the point where these men's options is so wide open that the standard of acceptability for sustaining a relationship is not there anymore. So, the saying, what one can't do, another one will. And to me, that has posed a problem, especially in our culture.
Mm.
Yeah. And then I also feel like, about 20 years ago, when that independence rush came out, it has also led us to feel the need to where we have become so independent that we don't need a man anymore, which is so not true.
Mm.
So I feel like, it teeter totters back and forth between those two aspects.
Okay. Uh, I want to before we close here, I want to ask you about the Jada Smith, and I know a lot of people have talked about this Will Smith, Jada Smith entanglement thing. Um, do you think the whole? I mean, she's married to a man, and I know this is their business. We're going to speak on it a little bit because some people deal with this. She's married to a man that's rich. He's famous. So a lot of women would say he's attractive. He's handsome. You know, why get entangled into a young man, young enough to be her son? What do you think drives that? Is it a sense of adventure or?
Well, Will and Jada have been married for, I know, 20 plus years. And I think back to the days when Jada Pinkett Smith, dated Tupac. You really would have never thought to see them two together, but it occurred. So I think, in a sense, like, Will has provided for Jada, but he hasn't provided for her in all the aspects that she would like. So she has emotionally, at some point in time, became withdrawn from him in order to feel the need to step out. But throughout the course of their marriage, in the media, it has portrayed them as having an open marriage. So we really don't know the boundaries or parameters that have been set, because of the media can also lie. So, I just look at it that they both were really hurt in that situation. I feel like Will more so than Jada, because it looked like to him he was slapped in the face.
Mm,
But I just think they both need to look at each other and what led to it.
hmm. Okay.
And I feel like over time, whatever was occurring in their marriage behind closed doors, we don't know. We just see what the media portrays them as. Yes, he's rich, but just because you're rich, you don't mean you happy.
Hmm.
Rich just means you can go buy anything you want whenever and wherever. But that don't mean in your heart and in your mind that you have peace. So I feel like peace is what's been lacking in their relationship, and that's what led her to feel the need to step out.
What?
She found comfort in a younger man at that point in time. He provided for her not only the sex, but also the emotion that she obviously had been missing from her husband.
Okay. Now, lastly, what does a man need to do for his woman not to step out on him?
Okay. Oh, there's so many avenues I could take with that.
Well, just
I
just
know for
just
me,
just hit 3 or 4 quick points.
stability. You got to stay stable. And I feel like, you got to keep the fire going. So if a couple's been together 5, 10, 15 years, you still need to go out on dates, because within 5 or 10 years, most of the time you have children. So you still got to keep that fire burning. I don't care what season it is. You got to figure it out. You have to figure it out. And then also, we get tired because we go to work every day. So you got to find a common ground in the midst of it all, even when you come home. And then the woman still has to pull her weight too. It's just simple as that. We can't just always depend on the man just to pull the weight all the time, because you all have feelings and emotions and get tired and sad just like we do. You might need to shed a tear too sometime too.
As always, appreciate your outlook and your view on everything. This is going to be interesting. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for catching
You're
us.
welcome. Have a good night.
Local heat.